Hello fellow collectors and welcome to Long's Toys. Today we're taking a look at Arctic Mission Storm Shadow from the G.I. Joe Classified series. This was an Amazon exclusive that I just got in recently. They originally had this for like October 5th, and then randomly people were just getting emails that were saying, you know, JK, it's going to be next week sometime. Okay. So this did come in a bubble mailer from Amazon, but surprisingly got here fairly unscathed. Not completely destroyed, which I appreciate. Number 14, as you can see there on top, you have that kind of nice giant group shot there for G.I. Joe, which looks really cool, which is on the back of most of the packaging here. Otherwise, you have this artwork over here, and it extends a little bit over to the side. I do think it's funny, though, that he's Arctic Mission, but he's like an off-white cream color instead of like white like snow. I don't know if that's intentional, or, you know, they just kind of messed up something. I don't know. But overall, I still think he looks pretty cool. He's got a ton of accessories here, so I'm excited to check him out. I'm going to go ahead and get him out of the packaging here, and we'll take a closer look. Here is Storm Shadow out of the packaging. And like I said, I still think it's a little weird that he's more of an off-white cream color than he is white, but overall still looks really, really cool. For some reason, the hood almost looks too large to me. I don't know why, but it's kind of the more I look at it, the more it seems out of proportion with the rest of the figure. The cool thing is, though, if you want, you can lift it right off. It's just have to kind of get it to clear his chin. But you can definitely take it off. And then I kind of feel like it looks a little better. It definitely looks more in proportion. So depending on what look you like, you can leave the hood off if you want. You can see his eyes underneath. Pretty nicely detailed. I like that. I like the mask. Overall, I think that looks cool. Kind of wish it was white instead of black, but I guess it goes with the rest of the motif, so I get it. Articulation-wise, though, he's got a joint here at the base of the neck as well as like the base of the skull, if that makes sense. So two ball joints there. Actually, I guess it's just a hinge at the base of the neck, but it is a ball joint at the base of the skull. You have the typical out to the side shoulder movements, but luckily these pieces are attached to the shoulder, so they don't, or I'm sorry, these shoulder pads are attached to the torso, so they do not get in the way of the shoulder articulation, which is nice. Then you have the bicep swivel, double jointed elbow. You have a hinge in the wrist, like so. And then, of course, you have a rotation as well. Now, unfortunately with mine, his ab crunch is a little loose, as you can see. But it does like make nice clicking sounds when you ratchet it in between. Whoops, I just knocked off his back stuff. We'll get back to that. And it does spin around. So I don't know. It's a shame because it's definitely a little loose on mine at least. But if you kind of ratchet it down, then it'll kind of stay in place. It'll just be a little hunched forward. So I don't know. If you kind of leave it normally, he'll want to naturally tilt back a little bit. So hopefully that's just mine and that's not a problem with everybody. I feel like I have to, because he'll just naturally fall all the way back like that, I kind of have to click it down to the next one and then just have him a little bit hunched forward, because then at least it stays in place. But typical hip joint there, so you can come up, out to the side. You can do that thing where they kind of like pull down a little bit. There's a little bit of movement there. You can kick forward. You got that thigh swivel. Double jointed knees, which are pretty tight, but they bend nicely. And then you have normal ankle where it kind of has the swivel there, as well as the rock side to side. So overall, pretty cool. The only problem, like I said, he does have a butterfly joint as well. I forgot to mention that. He's got the butterfly joint in the shoulder. So actually, I guess I'm wrong. It's attached like in between. I think it's a small piece of plastic. This is attached in between the arm and the shoulder, so that, okay, because it does move with the arm. So there you go. So that's great. It doesn't hinder the shoulder articulation at all. So that's fantastic. So the only problem is my kind of weird torso problem that I don't know what happened there. It's a bit of a shame. But let's go ahead. We'll get on to the accessories here. So you can see he's got the quiver, which looks really nice. It's very nicely painted. And then you have a second peg so that you can peg in the sword, which I appreciate. So that way you can have, there's just one peg hole on his back, but you can have both things pegged in. Because I was kind of worried about that. I thought I was going to have to choose it first, and I was kind of bummed. But they do have a peg hole there, so you can have both. So that's fantastic. I'm going to go ahead and put this back on. Get that over there like that. So yeah, I don't know why. It just seems a little too large to me. It's not terrible or anything like that. It just seems a little bit too large. But otherwise, I think the figure looks great. I really do. I think they did a great job. All the detailing, the paint applications all look really sharp. The kind of like blizzardy camo aspect they have going on here on the biceps and the abdomen look pretty cool. The belt stays in place well. It's a very soft, rubbery plastic piece, but no problems. It's not going to droop down on you or anything like that. So very cool. Obviously, you have the sword that can come out of the sheath there, the katana. So we'll go ahead and put this in his hand. And that looks good. He also comes with a bow, which looks very fancy. It looks weird to not have a string, but I get it. But still very nicely detailed. The gold paint is very nice. And I feel like they have little notches if you wanted to kind of come up with something yourself, you probably could. Obviously it comes with one arrow, which I think is weird that it's not the same as the ones in the quiver, but they kind of molded all these weapons out of the same color plastic. So you have the arrow here, that's this kind of same color cream plastic. You have this little sickle or scythe, depending on what you want to call it. And then you have this grappling hook, which is actually pretty cool. It comes pre-wound like this, and then you just have to unwind this string. And they give you a pretty long amount of string here, which I have to say is appreciated. So if you have something to, grapple or connect this onto, you could definitely set up some kind of display where he's like rappelling down the side of or coming up the side of a building or something like that. But then when you wind it back up, it stores pretty well. Just winds all the way back up here. And I'm not going to wind it as well as the machine did that first package this, but it's cool that it can happen, and then you just kind of feed it through, and that kind of loosely keeps it in place. So that's nice. I think that's pretty neat. A very decently functioning grappling hook. So that's pretty cool. I'm going to try and put the bow in his hand. Let's see if we can get this working here. Alright, I know I just put this in your hand, but I'm going to need you to let it go. There we go. Pop this back in here. Let's go ahead and try to get the bow in his hand. Probably easier said than done. He's got kind of like trigger finger hands for both hands here. He does not come with any additional hands or anything like that. Yeah, I don't really know how we're going to get this in here, but it's got to be possible, right? Does it seem like it would be easier to do it in this hand? Trying to look. I feel like they look to be about the same width as far... Well, that one might be a little bit tighter. Yeah, this one looks like it might be a little bit more open, so we'll try this one over here. Might have slightly more luck, but I feel like it's still going to be really difficult. How's this? It's actually not too bad. Maybe. I feel like the trick is always getting the thumb back. Alright. Please cooperate. I really can't get this in here. I know it's doable. It has to be doable. Alright, I'm just going to cut. We're going to get this done. So not perfect, but I was able to get the bow in his hand finally. And you can put the arrow in the other hand and, make it look like he's firing. There's no string, of course, but I think it still works. I think it's pretty cool. So we'll go ahead and take this out. Probably be a lot easier to get this out. There we go. There we go. So yeah, pretty cool figure. I think they did a really nice job. With the exception of that weird loose ab crunch. I'm really kind of bummed about that. But other than that, I really like this figure quite a bit. I wish he was more white than cream colored. That's my only other complaint. Oh, I didn't show off him holding this little sickle thing either, but if you'd like to take a look at him holding that as well, maybe we'll give him the sword in the other hand. Something like this. There we go. Let's see. Put this maybe up like this. Have the sword down like this. And then we got to bring in Snake Eyes, obviously, so they can fight. That looks pretty cool. I'm definitely down with this. Very neat. So yeah, I really like the figure. I do. Like I said, couple of minor nitpicks. I definitely wish he was more white than cream colored, because I think that's weird, especially when the whole point of this figure is to be, you know, snow camo. I think it's weird that he's cream colored. But that and the weird little weird abdomen being loose, and I'm really hoping that's just mine. I'm hoping that's not something that's going to plague all of these. But I feel like once you can get him in a pose you like, not that I'm great at posing figures, but you can get him in a pose that works, and then the abdomen's not a problem. So given the fact that he looks great, he comes with a ton of great accessories, I definitely recommend picking him up. I believe he's still exclusive to Amazon. He's been kind of popping in and out of stock, so definitely check him out on Amazon. Hopefully you can get one. But I really do like the figure quite a bit. I'm interested to see if they do a normal Storm Shadow later on. I would imagine they will, in kind of his more traditional you know, ninja outfit that's probably going to be more white by contrast. So I'm definitely going to be looking forward to trying to find that one as well. But in the meantime, this guy's cool. I like him a lot. Definitely check him out. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Please like, share, and subscribe. Hope you enjoyed the video. And as always, thanks so much for watching.